Today's Saturday. Got to get a guitar looked at. I got a bass guitar that's missing the part that's supposed to hold the strings. So right now on my way to Tom Bennett's house. He's a guy I met through Facebook Marketplace. I bought a guitar stand that holds like 5 guitars. This dude has made like 4 different bass guitars from scratch. And the one that he was working on at the time was beautiful. It was just a beautiful work of art type of bass. So I'm very much looking forward to getting to chop it up with him again. I got a few other things to do today. I got to grab my cabinet for Sunday service tomorrow. So I can't really stay too long today, but definitely looking forward to chopping it up with him a little bit and see what he's working on now and see if he's finished that bass guitar and maybe even get to play a little bit. We'll see. I mainly play 5-string, but the bass I'm getting worked on is a 4-string. To the conversation of me transitioning into doing bass guitar lessons, the best place to start is really on a 4-string. I've met different bass guitar players who have started on like 5 and 6 and whatnot, and it's a different type of learning curve, you know what I mean, but it is doable. But I want to initially just start everybody out on 4, and I'm realizing I myself have to kind of get more comfortable playing 4-string bass guitars. I really play 5. I love my 5-string. It sounds incredible, feels incredible. But I'm like, I need to get back comfortable playing a 4-string. That's where I started off at. So, in an interesting way, I'm kind of getting back to my roots. Where I started at, and looking forward to this next phase of what my music career looks like. This bass guitar musician journey. It's been an interesting one, and I think it's only going to get greater moving forward. So stay tuned. Got some good things happening. Hey,
Tyler,
how's it going, man?
Welcome. How are you?
Great. About yourself?
Not bad.
Good.
Just got back from visiting some friends in Florida.
Okay. Nice and warm down there?
Actually, it wasn't. It was in
Oh.
Sarasota. It was in the. We left. It was around 60 high that day, but that's okay.
Better than up here?
Yeah. Let's go check this baby out and see what I got.
Yeah, this is the one right here. I went to go play it, and I'm like, I went to put the strings on it, and there's no thing to hold the strings. I'm like,
no doubt on it. And
this is a problem.
yeah. Was this one that was given to you by previous instructor, or is this?
So this one I already had.
Okay.
I don't remember where I got it from. I think I got it from a pawn shop, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's just been so long I don't even remember. But this is it. Just real simple. Not too complicated.
No, the P bass.
Definitely needs a shower, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'll do that.
A little bit dirty.
So let's see what I've got. And like I said, if I don't, I can get one.
Okay.
They come in so many different sizes, and
Right.
because each neck has a different width. Well, that one's perfect.
Wow.
That one's perfect. So how have things been going?
Going pretty good. I feel like the room is like 80% done, which is like good enough.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, for getting started.
Yeah, and then I was talking to the guy that owns the school the other day.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start doing keys pretty soon. So
Oh, good.
should have my own key hopefully next week. If not next week, then
Okay.
the week afterwards. And then from there, I'm
Where's the key coming from?
I think they got to get like a different locksmith because they want to kind of do them all at the same time. But
Oh,
he kind of decided like, let's just do them individually. Like the people that are ready, like let's keep on moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
doing it like that. So.
Oh, that sounds really great.
Yep.
Just trying to find which is the best fit of all of them. Have to narrow them all down. I mean, any of them I'll have to narrow down, but
Okay.
let's see. First I'll narrow it down. Let me set this acoustic. I'm working on the bridge on this one. I've just got to, this one is the one I built, and I've just got to round the bridge and
Okay.
get it finished. And then this puppy's getting ready to strung that up.
Nice.
See how that thing sounds. It's always the intriguing thing to see. All right.
Yeah, that's the moment of truth part right
It
there.
always,
Like.
especially like when I'm working on the electric basses or guitars, it's like, okay, is this thing going to work now? You know, and I'm changing the pickups and all the pots, electronics in that one.
Nice. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a PRS.
Okay.
Smith guitar, and pickups were a little bright for me, so I ripped all the guts out of it, and it's empty back there.
Nice.
So, but what I do is I put them in a cardboard, which matches the configuration basically that I'm going to do. So this would be like this. There we go, like
Gotcha.
that. And then then I flip it over and I do all the wiring. And then the wiring, I can just set the thing up. So I wire it, solder it all on this.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't have to solder
in there.
in
Right.
there where you can damage things. And
Yeah.
then I only have to worry about just pickup wires,
Okay.
connecting those to the pots.
Versus trying to cram your hands in that tiny little
Yep,
space
with
in
a
there.
solder, with a hot soldering iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely not what you want to do.
that's smart.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
really
things
smart.
you learn over time, you know.
Yeah. It's almost like kind of creating like a physical like replica of it and
Yep.
then
Yep.
dropping it in there.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, and I had to do that with a hollow body because all that all goes through these F holes, and so you have to stick everything in through there and then pull them up through the holes, and you want to have all that wired ahead of time
wow.
so that you don't have to try. You can't do it inside there.
Yeah, this thing definitely needs a bath.
Yeah, in fact,
I put all my cleaning supplies in the teaching room and then completely forgot about this one. I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta get this thing clean. 'Cause I'm like, I need to clean all the bases before I just have people touching them and
Oh no,
you know what I
totally,
mean? Like
totally agree.
playing a bunch of dirty bases and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Here's one I'm gonna
clean some of these things up.
put you
Yeah.
to work here.
Oh, let's
This
do
is
it. Let's do it.
preservation polish.
Preservation polish.
Yep. So what
Okay.
you're gonna do is you'll put it on the whole guitar
Okay.
and not on the fretboard. I've
Okay.
got a polish or a fretboard oil for this
Nice.
to
Okay.
treat it. So basically this is just a polish. So you just put it on your rag and then just start cleaning.
Okay.
And you can clean the knobs, you can clean the bridge.
Now, do you typically like spray it on the towel and
I put it on the towel.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I put it on the towel. In fact, let's this one. Let's take that. Let's take this bridge right off from there. check once we get everything cleaned up, get the nut on, then we'll check the relief of the neck and we'll set it, we'll do a setup on it so that it's correct.
Okay.
So, let's say this one. That's the ground wire.
Okay.
For the electronics, so people don't get a shock when that's what that's for.
Gotcha. They just put it right underneath the bridge.
Yep.
That's smart.
Yep, to connect to the bridge, and comes from the pickup cavity in the back.
Okay.
Actually, in this case here, it's underneath here.
Mm.
So it's like a Stratocaster or something. Let me put a few extra holes in that.
It used to be like this little thumb rest
Oh yeah,
thingy.
yeah. That actually,
Yeah.
that's old time. That's old school.
Old school, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then the oldest school was when they put it here, and they played with their thumb.
Mm.
That's how they originally played bass, was just with their thumb.
Yep.
And but then they started putting these on instead of putting their finger on the. I don't know why, because I always play off the pickups.
Right.
So yeah, interesting. Yeah. So yep, go ahead and put it on that rag,
Okay.
and then and you can be as liberal as you want to be with it. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
And then we'll do the fretboard after that. This is a decent nut here too, so this is not one of the cheap plastic ones, so that's good. Yeah, I've gotten the habit of just making my own nuts. I buy bone blank from Sweetwater, and then just make my own.
Okay. So you do that just completely custom?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it takes a little longer, but it's definitely worth it. Because many of them, you know, like this one probably came with a plastic nut on it, probably too. And yeah, that started to look better.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Almost looks like a brand new bass.
Almost.
Almost.
Unfortunately, I don't think I have any polish for those screws or anything, but for the bridge, they got a little bit of rust on them. People pay a lot of extra money for that relic. You get like this guitar right here, it's about $700 or something like that. If you bought this and it was relic, damaged up, scratched up, dented, everything, it'd be about $5,000. So it's like, spend all that time making a beautiful instrument, and then you bang it all up. And then you sell it for more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen those P bases that are like all scratched up,
Yep.
and worn in.
Yep.
Like, I get the appeal of them, you know.
Yep, yep.
I kind of like a bass that's kind of been through the ringer a little bit.
Yep.
You know,
Well, you don't worry quite as much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
you know.
say, oh man.
It was a bass player I was listening to. He was talking about, you know, flying with your bass and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
How they get damaged, and he kind of came to the conclusion, like, stop being so sensitive about your basses. Like,
Yeah, they're going to get banged up.
yeah, and it's like if you're flying with a bass that you're really concerned about, it's like maybe you should
Then you
get a
don't
different bass.
then you don't take it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know,
You definitely don't take it.
those nice boutique basses, they're not meant to be on planes.
No.
You know.
No, that's, you know what? They destroy everything. I remember watching Frank Zappa. I don't know if you ever heard that name, but it goes back from the 60s and early 70s. His son played at Sweetwater. They've got that beautiful outdoor pavilion. He played there. So he brought his guitar up on stage, and he said, thanks to United, they lifted it up and the headstock had fallen off. I mean, they destroyed it because they made him put it underneath. And as you know, it doesn't matter what kind of
Type of case you got.
they can break anything. They have that ability to just pretty much ruin anything. Yeah, this will be just fine for the kids. This base here, I think that's a good starter.
And it's kind of small, you know.
Yeah, I think it'll work. I think it'll work out great.
Yeah, it's not so long and lengthy. I got another 4-string. That one's pretty long. This one is nice and compact.
Yeah, and the body's not too big, you know. Oh yeah, that's looking good.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Brought it back to life a little bit.
Yeah. So if you want to put the bridge back on,
Okay.
just you can switch the there's on the side of that screwdriver or that drill. There's a red button.
Okay.
Just push that to the from the other side. There you go.
Yep.
And you're ready to roll. One thin nut by the time you get done putting just to fit that. Okay, now I'll let you clean the fretboard now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can actually use the same rack here. Okay. Doesn't take huge amount, but you want to get it. You want to get it wet enough so that. So what you do is that all the way through. Look at it's going to give it some beautiful
Yeah, it already
color.
looks good.
Mhm. Yep.
Just
So
that
go ahead
little
and do
bit.
that all the way up to there. Yep. Looks like I got to clean that out of there too. Sorry about putting you to work.
No,
But you're not afraid of work.
I'm not. And then it's like, your stuff is really nice. Like, the cleaners, like, the stuff I got from the Guitar Center is okay, but
Right.
this,
Yeah.
this stuff
Yeah.
is nice.
This stuff here's from Stumac,
Okay.
Stuart McDonald. and that's where I get all my stuff from. I get my tools from. They're a little pricey, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, this stuff is nice.
Yeah, all of the professionals get their stuff from Stuart McDonald,
Okay.
and I'm not one of them. I mean, I'm not a professional.
Professional rookies.
Yes, but I get my stuff from Stuart McDonald.
Well, that's the quickest way to becoming professional too. Is like get your stuff from where the professionals get it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
You
Because
know?
you know what? Your results are going to be much better. You get the right tools.
Right.
Like these tools. These tools here, these are related to frets. These are related to the crowning of the frets, to rounding them.
Okay.
I mean, it's just all of the tools that I have, and I've got files just for nuts. And I'll show you if you want to someday get some of these things, but. These are files for a 6-string for nuts, different thicknesses. Attach them into here, and then you actually cut the slots for the strings,
Wow.
and you file them in.
Okay.
And that's what those files are for. All right, let's see here.
Man, that looks good.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
That-
That's a beautiful.
That
Yeah,
looks
it
good, man.
can sharpen up an instrument really nice. All right, let's see what we got here. I think that's gonna fit in there. These are one for the bass. These are the, I'm gonna see if this thing will fit in there. Let's see. You know what? It was glued in there pretty hard. When you glue these, you can do it with a, super glue, just 2 dots,
Okay.
2 dewdrops, and then you can still pop the nut back out. You can go in the end and just pop, and it'll slide out of there. But whatever they did, they put a big chunk of, I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of a black glue in there. And we don't really want any of that stuff in there.
Yeah, and it didn't even hold the nut.
No, and it didn't hold the nut.
It didn't
Yeah,
do its job.
no,
so
no.
I was like,
I mean, that's a lot of junk in there.
Yeah, just for it to not even work.
There. No, definitely no. Fill the nut slot up and not hold anything.
Yeah. I never see those usually come out. I was shocked.
No. They're not supposed to. Close. Very, very close. I think the fret ends seem pretty good on that. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
A little sharp on a couple, but not too bad. Yeah. Let's see here. That's pretty good. Oh, there's a couple right. Feel this here. Kind of turn your
Yeah.
finger up. You can feel the sharpness
Yeah.
right on the edges on there, and that's what we try to roll the edges over,
Okay.
and it makes it a lot more comfortable to play. Yeah, there's no sharp edges anymore, so that. Like feel this neck on this one. Feel the fret sides.
Yeah, that's perfectly
It's
smooth.
Yeah, yeah. That's really ultimately the higher end guitars you get. But then again, a neighbor of mine, he plays in a heavy metal band, scream band. I don't dig it, but he's a great guy, and he gets a deal from Fender because they travel Europe and Asia and stuff. He gets a deal from Fender. He shows me this guitar, and the strings are so close because of the nut and the bridge were incorrect that the string falls off the side.
Wow.
And the frets were sharp. And that was, he paid $1,400 for that.
Jeez, man.
And I'm just like, I'm going, that's, so he ended up getting somebody from elderly to help him get that into playable condition.
That's just.
But yeah, that's better than what he had.
Yeah, yeah. And this costs nowhere near $1,400.
No. And this, like I said, this is made in Indonesia. PRS is the manufacturer, but they make that guitar made out of the American factory in Maryland is about $4,000. This one I got for $650.
Wow.
Because it was made in Indonesia. It doesn't have this is actually a veneer cap. That's a maple cap with a veneer on top. Their regular basses or guitars or basses from made in America or in Maryland, that whole thing would be striped maple or quilted maple, the whole thickness of it.
Got you.
So a few things like that. The electronics, I'm replacing those because they're not as good as what you'd like to find in a Maryland type thing. So. Yeah, we are so close. Yeah, we were over in Grand Rapids before we had to fly out. They've got 2 foot of snow. And the day before we flew out, and the day on Friday, let's see, it was a Saturday or Friday. I guess it was a Friday. It kept snowing. And when we got back, they had gotten like 2 inches every single day.
Jeez.
And it was like, thank goodness we were our daughters and didn't have to park in the parking lot because our car would have had 2 foot of snow on it. I know. We ended up sitting on the airplane in Grand Rapids for 4 hours without leaving because there was a part that needed to be replaced, and it was like ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna put some.
That is a crazy type of.
Yeah, we're gonna put a couple temporary strings on this, on the E and the G here. Because we're gonna have to set the height of this one up. Oops, I got it backwards. And then we'll glue them in once. He's gonna. It's definitely. It's already too high. But we'll have to file that down in a second here. Oh, he's got to get tightened up. Hang on. See that nut?
Yeah, a little bit loose.
Yeah, just a tad. Just a tad. Oh, that's gonna be too big. see what else I got. Yeah. This is actually 4 guitars.
I like that.
Yeah.
I gotta get one of those. Just throw it
Yeah.
in the bag or something.
Yep, because they work great for when you're working on the nuts under the
Under the pots.
the pots.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what they're for. So you don't scratch the
Yeah.
surface. I've never used them on a machine tuner before, but it seems to work.
It is working perfect.
Okay, let's turn him over a second here. Those must be loose too. That's better. Okay, and then we can clean this when we're done to the back of the neck. But looks like it was used.
Definitely used, yeah.
I mean, it's got some wear on the sides and a little bit on the horn and. Okay. Oh, that's perfect.
There we go.
Don't need that on there. So what I do is I set the E and the G string on, and then I measure the height here and then at the 12th fret for the action.
Okay.
Now this action on this one right now, I can tell you it's going to be really high, so that's why I haven't glued it in yet, because I'm going to need to take it and file it potentially out. So. These lightweight tuners help too for kids. These are really small tuners. They're very helpful for kids.
I like the smaller ones, because sometimes the bigger ones will break on you.
Mhm.
They're so
Yeah.
bulky and big. They stick out a little bit too much.
They do. I put these on bases I made. Let's check something real quick too. Sorry about doing all this stuff to your base here.
No, you're good. You could definitely use a tune-up.
Okay, take a look at this. Bend down and take a look and see what you see. This ought to be flat everywhere across.
Okay.
And look at the gap here.
Yeah.
That's humongo. Okay. So what we got to do is we got to reverse the
truss rod?
truss rod on there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to see which one fits that. Let's see. I think it's this one. I just have one of these, and it only fits on one fender I had. So it really's never done me any good.
Designed for one bass and one
Yep.
bass only. Like.
Yeah, exactly. And it was there we go. It was an American bass. American standard bass, very expensive one. It came with that, and that's the only thing it works on. Oh. back the other way now. So.
A lot of times, like being a musician, like you're busy playing an instrument and you're busy like practicing on an instrument, but there's so many other avenues within the music industry and within just, you know, what happens as far as these instruments sounding as good as they sound and playing as good as they play. And a lot of times we don't necessarily understand what goes into truly making an instrument sound amazing, feel amazing. One of the things that I've gotten to experience is playing an instrument that I felt like was custom made for my hands. And after that experience, I'm like, okay, there really is a lot that goes into what makes these instruments special. And getting to meet someone that actually has built an instrument from scratch, that being guitars and basses, that, you know, has the true passion for it, the love for it, it's always special. And it's like, oh crap, hello, yep, my bad, I'm on the way right now. I should be there in like maybe 20-25 minutes or so. Okay, yeah, so sorry about that. Yep. What was I saying? So getting to meet someone that's literally built a bass guitar from scratch. I've gotten to play a bunch of bass guitars, but I ain't never built one. You know what I'm saying? But to have built one from scratch and then getting to play one of his bass guitars, I didn't really get to get any footage of it, just because the battery on my camera started to die and I didn't want to miss anything else and what have you. But getting to play an instrument and just watching someone that has the passion for making these instruments special just work on a bass guitar that I just got from a pawn shop, but my man's is treating this instrument as if it cost $1 million. You know what I mean? Just out of love, just out of pure passion for music and gear and these instruments. You know what I mean? It's one thing to have the gift to play or to have the talent to play, but having that talent and the gift and also the passion to generate and create and maintain these instruments, like that's a different type of love, and that's something that I respect, and I'll never take that for granted. I'll truly like never take that for granted. Like I could have just sat there and just watched him work on that guitar for hours. Like I low-key forgot like I had to get this cabinet, and if I didn't have to grab this cabinet, like I literally have to grab it for tomorrow. Like if I don't grab it, I'm gonna be coming out of an amp that's like not that great, so I really do have to grab it. But if I didn't have to grab it, man, I tell you, I'd